he's like, oh, so have you joined the Closer in Black program? Because, this guy's basically like, yeah, I want to hire you. He basically structured it in such a way, whereas if you join the inner circle, you're going to get hired. It was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. His YouTube videos are not even comparable to how shitty his stuff is. How you should have a sexual relationship with money.
What? What? Hey guys, welcome to Fake Guru. Today we have another special edition. We're having another interview with a former high-ticket closer course person who's going to give his testimonial. His name is Joel. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into the thing. Tell us when you were in high-ticket closer.
Yeah. So I recently got a job in sales. I was doing really well, man. I think I made like $8,000 my first month, and that was really good for me. I was like, shit, man. A kid that grew up on welfare and food stamps, you hand him $8,000, you're like, damn, what the hell's going on? And then the next month though, it crashed really bad. I only did like 4,000.
What were you selling? Cars?
Oh, water softeners.
Okay.
Yeah. And and I was like, oh shit, what's going on, man? So I figured, okay, something's happening, right? Because it was my first time in sales. I didn't have any sales experience. So I started going on YouTube, looking up, okay, how to get good at sales and whatnot. That's when I found people like Grant Cardone, and I found Dan Lok. And so I started watching his videos, the whole, what was it? The Bentley or the Hyundai thing,
Yeah. Do you want to be do you want to be Bentley in your industry, or you want to be the Hyundai?
I'm done with the Hyundai.
Correct. And I am the fucking Bentley.
And of course, me not knowing really anything, I'm good at sales for some reason. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like you have a kid that's good at art, but he doesn't know why he's good. He's just good at it. I just happen to be good at sales. So I didn't know that was, bullshit. I was like, okay, I fucking guess. And so I started, yeah, right? And so I started watching his videos for a couple months and whatnot. And then I guess he released something called Dan on Demand, which is like a monthly subscription service.
What's it called? Say that again.
Dan on Demand. Yeah. And it's like a monthly subscription service. It's like $50 or whatever. And I was like, and at the time, right, this is before I knew anything about marketing or anything like that. And it's a ClickFunnels page, which, by the way, I don't know how the hell anyone using ClickFunnels makes money. That looks so scammy. I really don't.
So scammy.
I thought, dude, ClickFunnels, like the web pages, I'm like, shit, man, like, is it going to go to some bank account, like, in China or something? I don't know. Anyhow, I was like, I didn't buy it because I'm like, oh, hell no, this looks hella sketchy. And then, YouTube and Facebook is like, okay, well, they keep spitting me a bunch of gurus like, hey, learn how to double your sales. You know what I'm talking about? You see the Facebook ads.
Oh, yeah.
And so I started clicking on all of them just to see, and it was, the same ClickFunnels stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just some industry standard thing I don't know about, right? Maybe people, selling informational programs don't know, how to make their stuff not look scammy. So I decided to go for the Dan on Demand thing. I paid the $50 for the month just to see what it was like. Yeah, it was a massive disappointment. It was like, it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. I'm like, I think I need to get a refund. Like, oh my gosh. It was basically him uploading all of his YouTube videos and then a few, there was 4 live calls he made, if they were even live.
They weren't even live.
Of him just talking about copywriting and money and, how you should have a sexual relationship with money. Just fucking weird, right?
What? What? A sexual relationship with money?
Yeah. So I can't quote it exactly, but it's something like, you need to think of money like a lover. Imagine if you tell your lover, I hate you, or I don't need you. That lover's not going to want to be with you. So you need to treat money like your lover. Just like, I'm not joking.
He's for real.
Man.
He's for real.
I was like, I'm sorry, what?
He's for real about that. He means that.
For real? Well, I don't know. He said in the live call, so I assume he's for real. Who knows? But he really likes money, I can tell you that much. And yeah, I remember one of his things was It was like the high ticket closer program he was advertising. And he had to do like a bunch of role plays with his people and whatnot. And I thought, oh, okay, this actually seems pretty legit. Let me look into it. And then, I looked into it, and it was like $2,500. I'm like, oh, that seems a little bit high, because I don't have a point of reference. You know what I mean? Like I've never bought any kind of informational products in my life.
Right.
So I had no, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a point of reference. If you don't know, you don't know, right? That's how the timeshare people get you. And I decided to go for it eventually. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll look into it. I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, Dan on Demand was such a shit product.
Dude, I don't know how you thought it was going to get better.
Well, the thing is, I just didn't know. I didn't know that there were other sales programs out there. I think it was like before Grant Cardone started really advertising and doubling down and whatnot.
Right.
But anyway, I went for it. And it was like, he said, oh, it's going to be live training and whatnot. And I thought, oh, okay, cool. So I went through it, and the first two, because it's once a week, right? It's a 7-week, the HTC is a 7-week program. And once a week, you get a 4-hour live call with Dan that he teaches all of his HTC people at the same time. And you actually use Discord, crazy enough, which blew my fucking mind. I'm like, what? Discord? It's supposed to be a professional society. You want to go on the site that's literally just anime, video games, and porn? Like, okay, yeah, sure, I guess, whatever. And I know, right? It's crazy. I was like, wait, Discord? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe Slack. Now, okay, Discord, sure. And it was basically just mindset training for the first 2 weeks. I don't even remember what it was. Just a bunch of horse shit. Like stuff you'd find in a Tony Robbins book, except, 4 hours of it. And then he started getting into the actual sales training.
Oh, I want to mention something just for people who don't know. When you think of Dan Lok, if you've seen his YouTube videos, you think of this really high-produced thing, something with like beautiful graphics and like this beautiful thing. That is not the case with the HTC. Tell people what you get for your $2,500.
You get I'm not making this up, okay? You get there's an app or something. It's called Zoom. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like a Skype clone, whatever the hell. And it's not even like high produced shit. It's him literally just saying, hey people, HTC here, yeah. And it's an image of just Dan's face. It's just an image of Dan's face right there like that. Just pictures. Just fucking pictures, right? I was expecting, okay, maybe, they're going to be live like a podcast. No, it's basic. You could literally not even look at the screen and know what's going on. It's literally just that. It's basically a podcast, except you don't even get the visuals, right? Even lower than Joe Rogan, and you pay $2,500 for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's it. And I was like, okay, because but again, I've never done anything self-help before.
No self point of reference.
Right, like I did not have a point of reference. I didn't know. The mindset stuff he gave me, even though it was extremely basic, I didn't know. So I went with it, and throughout the entire, like from day one, he's like, there's no refunds. You don't get refunds here. You don't get refunds here.
He says that? He actually says that?
Yeah, day one, you don't get refunds. No refunds. I don't do refunds. I was like, okay, whatever, right? Wow. I paid for the train. Like I didn't plan on getting a refund anyhow, so I didn't think of it at the time. And then week 3 comes along, and he starts teaching actual sales stuff, and he teaches this really shitty method. It's called personality-based sales.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
All I know is that he asks way too many questions. He turns everything into a stupid question.
I'll get into that in just a second. So, okay. So he teaches you, there's like 4 main personality types, right? There's emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and pearls. Pearls are, really quiet people that like to bond with you. It's that personality type. Sapphires are like, Logan Paul or, Jake Paul, that kind of personality. Emeralds would be much like an engineer, something like that. And rubies would be like a cutthroat businessman, like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank or whatever. And he's like, this is how you close these people. When he talks, like, okay, emeralds, they like to just see numbers. That's it. Nothing else. Don't even worry about that shit. And then he gets into just a bunch of bullshit questions. So, so a Dan Lok. Okay, so the other stuff, right? Everything else is dealing with objections and all that. But that's like the main focus of the program. So let's talk about the Dan Lok questions. So he's like, okay, so all right.
I already know where you're going with it. I love it, dude. Go.
Okay. So typically in a real sales scenario, there's the initial greeting.
Yeah.
There's qualifying questions. There's the pitch, and then there's the close, and then objection handling at the end, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I did the sales job. That's exactly what you do. Yeah.
That's what you do. There's nothing else. Anything else is bullshit. But again, a guy who's a natural born salesman that doesn't actually know why he's good didn't know that. So all he does is he's like, okay, just ask a bunch of questions, like ask about the family, ask about, what they like to do for fun, ask, how it would affect their kids if they bought the product or whatever it was. He's like, just ask a billion questions and whatnot. Just keep asking questions and whatnot. He does not teach you how to pitch a product. Does not teach you how to pitch anything. He's like, we don't do sales, we close. And,
and that is the kind of stuff that you can believe if you've never done sales before, but the second you do sales, you understand what kind of garbage that is. Look,
right.
And for the people who don't know, like what I'm talking about, you can go watch my video about Dan Lok's like fake sales calls, but literally the way he handles like basic things, and it's so clear that he's not a sales guy. Someone will be like, "Hey Dan, like, look, I'm just worried about the cost. Can we bring the cost down?" And he'll be like, "Well, let me ask you, why are you worried about the cost?" Well, and the person would be like, "Well, dude, it's just a lot of money." And he goes, "Why is it a lot of money?" "Well, dude, I mean, it's just a lot of money for me. Like, can you just please, like, can we lower the price here?" "Well, how would you feel if," and it's just, he never gets to an answer. I can't imagine how frustrating as a customer that would be to never hear a straight answer to anything and always be like having it reversed. It's like playing the reverse card in Uno. It's like reverse.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what he teaches, right? So, like, I think it's week 5 or 6. I'm not quite sure. And he's like, we're going to teach you how to handle objections. And then, okay, and I'm not joking, right? So it's like, how he did it was this. He puts an objection on the screen, like, I need to think about it. And then we're going to say, ooh, like everybody, say that in Discord. Go, ooh. And you can hear everybody just going, ooh, it's an objection. And he's like, now what you want to do? You want to be like water. And he's like, because he loves Bruce Lee, by the way. Dude loves Bruce Lee. If Bruce Lee was a girl, he'd be all up in that. Like, no joke. So basically, he's like, like in Jeet Kune Do, they teach you the finger jab. You jab them in the eye, and that's how you win every fight. And I was like, I was like, okay, that seems kind of bullshit. I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor would knock your fucking ass out if you tried that. But okay, whatever. A lot of martial arts is bullshit anyhow. So, and then he's like, so if anyone ever gives you an objection, you finger jab it, you redirect. That's what you do. So he's like, I need you to think about it. Okay, cool. I learned the Jordan Belfort straight line system, so I don't even know how to like handle objections shittily now. But or like, I think you're a bit too young. Okay, how old would you like someone to be? Just stupid stuff like that.
Is that when you start realizing that this is a bunch of garbage?
I realized it was a bunch of bullshit when I started applying it to my real job. And I couldn't close anything. It does not work in real life. It only works under a very specific occasion. They already want to buy the product, and they're calling you because they just have some concerns like, oh, can you come off the price a little bit? Or what exactly is in the program? Because, the shitty ClickFunnels thing that took me here is really, sketchy and whatnot. I want to talk to somebody.
Tell me about the hire thing. They promised you a job or whatever.
So let's talk about the hiring part, right? Do you know how they said, okay, well, if you put in a lot of hours, we'll hire you and whatnot?
Right.
Okay, so basically, there's like in 8th class, he's like, oh, if we have good attendance, we'll get a special 8th class. It's just him hyping everybody up. But, because again, you have an emotional connection with this dude. Because, you've been with this guy role-playing for like 7 weeks straight.
Right.
It's like a cult almost. It's almost like you've been brainwashed for 7 fucking weeks. or 8 at this point. And, he's like, okay, I want you guys to join my inner circle. If you can't afford it, you need to buy it. It was like $2,100 to join the inner circle.
Wait, he says if you can't afford it, you need to buy it.
That's exactly why you need to buy it, because you can't afford it. And, all right, okay, right, because typically you'd be like, oh, what fucking idiot would fall for that, right? But again, if you've already established an emotional connection with someone, it's a lot easier to seep in, right? Yeah. It's like the cult's like, here, just wear these clothes. It's fine, whatever. It's that what is it, the foot in the door phenomenon? You ask for a little bit every single time, and eventually it works up like that. He pretty much shames people into joining his inner circle program.
Right.
It's like $2,100 and then $200 a month on top of that every single time to stay in his inner circle. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm devoted to this. I'm going to go for it. And so I bought it. $2,100 came out of my pocket. Stupid. Dumb decision. Dumb fucking decision. And
well, no, now it's great because now you can tell everybody at home all about it. We can hear all about it.
I go on YouTube. So yeah, they're definitely going to hear about this part. And okay. And so it basically gives you access. So I think there's like a web service or something where like all these people, you can go online to their courses and whatnot. They'll use the same video format. Anyhow, it takes you to another like website that has the inner circle stuff. There's like a whole bunch of videos, like, goal setting, just super basic shit, man. You can literally find it a $10 audiobook. But I didn't know, unfortunately. So I'm like, I was like, man, like we're talking lower quality than the HTC program, this inner circle is. Like, it's like way more fucking expensive.
Okay, this is something people don't understand, how this works, how the quality actually gets worse. Like Dan Lok's incentive is to make all the free stuff actually the nicest stuff, because he's trying to sell you on the fact that he's going to give you great stuff, and he keeps promising you the world. But when you've actually paid, all of a sudden he has no incentive to make that course better. I mean, except for testimonials like this.
No, yeah, that's a good point. His YouTube videos are not even comparable to how shitty his like stuff is. Like, not even comparable. Like, he even has his old YouTube videos. If you go back and look at his old videos, it's just him, giving a speech or whatever. Like, what are they called? Like masterclass.
Masterminds, yeah.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is. It's just him talking and whatnot. And the quality is like, 480p and whatnot. Man, it's even worse than that, dude. It's awful. Oh yeah, and what was this thing? Okay, yeah. Let me get on with the story. It was right. So I'm like, damn, this is really shitty fucking quality. But and during the 8th class, he literally says, yeah, no, we're gonna hire you. We're gonna do this kind of stuff. He's basically like selling us a job. Is basically what he's doing.
So he's essentially like hinting to you, oh, we're going to have you on, we hire our high ticket closers, that kind of thing?
Yeah. We hire people from our inner circle. So, no, I mean, it took me a while to figure it out, but he basically structured in such a way, whereas if you join the inner circle, you're going to get hired.
So everyone thinks to themselves, oh, I like this guy. I would love working with this guy.
Exactly. Okay, so anyhow, my group leader contacts me on Facebook, right? He's like, hey, because we have weekly, we have like groups and whatnot. And he contacts me and says, hey, someone from the inner circle wants to get in contact with you, Joel. And I was like, oh shit, this is awesome, man. This is really, really cool. I was like, dude, I'm going to get hired. This is freaking awesome, because I joined the inner circle. I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm going to make so much. I'm going to do really good here. I'll make more money. And then the dude contacts me. He's like, yeah, let's do an hour, call, role play. And he just basically interviews me for an hour. We don't actually get to role play. He's like, oh, let's schedule another appointment and do it again. All right, but yeah, no, I'm really just based on the way you talk to me. I think I want you on my sales team.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then this part right here. This is what tipped me over the edge. Because, this guy's basically like, yeah, I want to hire you and whatnot. And he's, right. He's officially associated with Dan Lok. He's not just some dude. He's like officially there, like in the upper ranks. So he's like, oh, so have you joined the Closer in Black program? Which is like, oh, I talked about MLM stuff. So, there's like a giant conference in Vancouver or whatever that Dan Lok has. It's called Closers in Black, and they all wear black suits. And,
Oh no! This closer thing is so cringy, dude. Like the high ticket closer.
it's so bad. It's so bad. And so what happens, right? And the guy's like, "So have you joined it yet?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna go." He's like, "Yeah, you need to go." But this dude's about to hire me, right? I'm like, "Shit, it looks really bad if I don't go." You know what I mean? Like he might decide against me.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Huh?
No, I totally understand. You're thinking he might not think I'm devoted enough.
Right. And he basically shamed me into doing this thing. And guess how much it costs to just go to this fucking dinner? Just take a wild guess.
I don't know, like $200.
Yeah, about $250. And I was like, I don't want to fucking pay that, but hell, you know what? If
You've
this
already
guy,
sunk $4,000 in at this point.
yeah, I'm like, well, shit. If this guy does give me a job and I start making money, it's not gonna matter, right? It's not gonna matter. And then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, we have a VIP upgrade if you want it. Fucking upsell. This dude fucking upsells me. And then it's like an extra $100. And I'm like, dude, I really don't want to fucking go. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, fine. Just do it. Let's get it over with. Like, that's okay, fine, whatever. He's like, okay, cool. And this was around December time when this happened. He's like, all right, so I think I'm going to be starting the sales team sometime in January. I'll let you know then. I was like, okay, cool. January comes around. He's like, yeah, I decided against it. I'm not going to hire you on. And I was fucking pissed. Like I was livid. I'm like, he's like, we can still role play though if you want, because I did promise you that. I'm like, I was so fucking mad. I sent support an email because he has HTC support. I said I want a refund now for the inner circle program, because like that, that's fucked up. To basically, to have Dan Lok say, oh yeah, we're gonna hire you, and someone contacts you and then sells you more shit and then doesn't hire you. I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's terrible.
That I was like, that's bad. Like that is really messed up. And then I waited a couple days. They never got back to me. Oh, by the way, I'll get into how they don't respond to refunds very well. And
of course they don't. Of course they don't.
And then I was like, no, you know what? So I contacted Chase. I said, look, I got scammed. I want a refund on the inner closer program right now. Like I disputed the charge. And no joke, the day, like, because they said, okay, it's going to take, 5 to 7 business days to get through or whatever. After about 5 days, I got an email from HTC support. Oh, hot fucking damn. It's like, hey, can you not dispute the charge? We'll just give you the refund. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, because it's on a recurring payment, whatever. They say you need to not dispute the charge so we can cancel that recurring payment. And I was like, okay, fine. So I undid the charge, told them about it, and they would give me my money back. But it took me having to call my fucking bank for an hour, disputing the damn charge, and it was just, oh god, it's so shit. Like, fucking.
They make it like pulling teeth to get a refund.
Oh yeah. I think there's a few things I wanted to talk about when I say group leaders,
MLM, and the Seifu. I actually have heard about the Seifu thing from. I talked to this other guy, Colin, and I just heard about it in general. It's like so weird that he makes people call him Seifu. What the hell is up with that?
Yeah, let me go with the Seifu thing. Okay, so you know how what's it called? A priest, you call him father.
Yeah.
Like it's like a title of respect, right?
Right. Of course.
Your grace for a king or whatever.
Yeah, an honorific.
Right. And like I guess Seifu means like teacher for life in Chinese or something. I guess I don't remember. I know it means teacher something in Japanese. Sorry, it's not Chinese, because he's Mandarin or whatever. And like he's like, listen, if you call me Seifu, mean it. It means we'll be bonded forever. And it basically, like, a lot of his people start responding him as Seifu, I think it's Sifu. And yeah, and he just everybody just starts calling him Seifu. And he does it in such a way where he even responds to himself as Seifu when he's teaching you, by the way. He's like, yes, you want to make Seifu happy, don't you? You know, just like makes him happy in role play. And yeah, it's really cringy. I was like, that seems kind of weird. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, shit, that's like a fucking cult.
That's like a mind game. That's like a next level mind game. Like, I'm your teacher for life. You have to listen to me.
Right. It's like if you're, it's like, I hate to say it, the abuses in the Catholic Church, you're like, Father, why am I taking my pants off? It's like, don't worry, child. It's for God's purpose or whatever. Except in this case, Dan Lok takes your money instead. So yeah, it's sort of like that. It's sort of like, this thing and whatnot. I never called him Seifu. I'm like, I never really liked the son of a bitch to begin with. But I was like, well, hell, if he can help me make more money, I don't care. Turns out that didn't happen. Oh, you know what? Oh, I was going to mention this. You know how you talked about on one of your fake gurus videos, there was a guy named Kavon? He's in the HTC program. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
I can't say anything about it. I cannot say anything about it.
I can say shit about it.
Go ahead.
So this motherfucker Kavon, I did not know that he had a fake Harvard thing. And Dan Lok.
Okay, well, let me say something real quick.
Sure.
I didn't know either. I was shocked to find Kavon on that fake Harvard thing, and I had to put him in, and I was like, I'm not playing favorites with anybody.
Right. Yeah, and anyway, he was really associated with Dan Lok a lot.
Right.
Like fucking he was sucking his cock, like just right up his ass all the time. And this dude, legit, he okay, and then apparently about halfway through, because I was in season 7, he breaks everything into seasons, right? And season 7 comes around where I'm at. I think it was like 4 or 5. He's like, he posts, because there's like a Facebook group, the HTC Facebook family group.
Yep.
He calls it HTC family Facebook group, by the way. Yeah, because it's a family, right? Family that, takes your money. And, he basically says, warning, we have an announcement. There's a serious problem. There's betrayal in the family and whatnot. I guess, I know, right? I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, right? It's like, on Facebook, you can pin it at the top.
Gather around Seifu to find out what the problem in the family is.
There's a serious problem, like a serious update. I guess the Kavon dude, was recruiting HTC students or something like that. And he made it this big fucking deal. Like, he is excommunicated from our family. No one will make contact with him at all. Like, basically, disowning him from the family and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, by the way, just for everybody watching, that Kavon dude was associated with HTC for a long time. The guy who fakes Harvard stuff. So keep that in mind if you still want to consider buying HTC. These are the kind of people Dan Lok associates with. I know you can't say anything. I can say stuff.
I can't say anything. But
and he's not going to sue me. So, yeah, that's that. Okay. Yeah, that's the Seifu thing. What was some other stuff like MLM or whatever?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick. One funny thing that is the line that I'm always balancing on is the people don't realize. So people I think some people look at what I do and they're like, why hasn't anyone? There aren't that many people calling these people out. And they're kind of shocked. They're like, wait, this does seem real sketchy. Why aren't people calling them out? It's because they all get sued. These people all just sue the people who criticize them. That's the thing. And you got to be really careful. And now I have insurance literally just for that. I pay pretty good money for insurance.
Wow.
But anyways, it's still, you don't want to it's just a nightmare if you get sued. But these people, they'll sue to shut you up. And they'll send you these cease and desist letters. They'll say, hey, stop talking about my name or else. And you could even win the lawsuit, but then you end up losing a bunch of money. So just for people, if sometimes I'm kind of a little careful with my words or whatever, just know that's why. It's not because it's my opinion that these guys are legit in any way, but I can't say anything.
Yeah, it's why he's letting me say stuff, because he can't. And believe me, I will, because I hate this dude. Oh yeah, I think it was group leaders they talked about?
Yep.
All right. So to make it look more like an MLM. Oh, by the way, in the Inner Circle program, he encourages you to do affiliate marketing to try and sell HTCs. Like, I'll give you $500 for every program you sell. For everyone that signs up with HTC under your link, you get $500. So, if you guys want to make some extra money, you can get people to join HTC.
That is like a pyramid scheme. That's like an MLM at that point.
Yeah, but he didn't mention that. Like, I mean, he didn't mention it until you got to the Inner Circle. Then he started talking about the affiliate links. But yeah, anyhow, what was I saying? Oh yeah, group leader. So in the very beginning, when you first sign up, you join a group. And it's a group of like, I think 6 or 7 other students, and then one group leader, someone who is one of his trusted Inner Circle members, or someone who paid, $2,100 and $200 a month to join his program or whatever. And in these groups, he's like, okay, guys, so you actually have throughout the HTC program, you actually have assignments that he wants you to complete. And the group leader makes you like a Google Sheets page. It's all the points. It's like if you watch the program live, you get 4 points. If you watch the replay, you get 3 points. There's like 10 points a week you got to go through. And you have to get 50 points total, or else you don't graduate from the HTC program.
Right.
Anyhow, these group leaders, they basically have like weekly conference calls with you. And they're like, oh, how's role play going? How's this? Basically, hey, I'm here to support you. Please don't get a refund, and something like that. And these group leaders, he's just there, basically like a multi-level marketing thing. You have like a group leader trying to like encourage you to stay in it and whatnot, so that way they can, upsell you to the Inner Circle program and whatnot. And in fact, my group leader was he seemed like a nice dude up until it was time to join the Inner Circle program. And it was really fucked. Now, I was fortunate because I had money. I was making money at my job in sales. I was already making. But this one guy, I feel bad for him. I don't want to say his name, but he worked at a gas station, and he had like a sick mom at home. His mom was like sick and unable to work. But he somehow, scrounged together $2,500 to join the HTC program. And I was like, oh, okay, he's trying to make a better life. And then, this really fucking, I didn't want to say anything because, like, it's that whole, it's like sketchy and whatnot. But the guy's like, oh yeah, the gas station guy's like, oh, I really want to join the Inner Circle program, but like he's like, I spent my life savings on the HTC program. And then the group leader, he says, okay, Callum, I think PayPal has like credit loans you can take. And
No.
Yes, he had them, and then his what's it called? And apparently PayPal didn't give him enough. So it's from the UK, and I'm not sure how their banking system works, but I think you can approve for financing immediately there. And he financed like $2,000 at like 20% interest or something like that. And like, the group leader was just encouraging him to do it. Like, fuck, man. I was like, damn, that's really fucked. Even at the time.
Dude, that's not right, man. There's like, there can be such a thing as like selling with some ethics. If you know someone can't afford it, you don't sell them a $2,000 course while their mom's sick.
And then $200 a month on top of that. And this kid, and I mean, you know what? I actually tried to before doing this, actually, after watching that one guy's last testimony, I tried reaching out to him, and he won't respond to me. He won't talk to me. Like, he doesn't update his status or anything. I'm like, damn. Like,
I hope he's all right.
I know. Like, they fucked this kid's life up pretty bad. Like,
that's why like I really believe in getting these like testimonials out there and just talking about fake gurus, is because at the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road is you have desperate people who don't know any better, who sometimes can't afford it, being upsold endlessly for what?
Exactly.
It's also, I mean, is it just so that Dan can ride in his Bentley? Like, what is it for?
I don't know. Well, again, I mean, he has a sexual relationship with money, so maybe that has something to do with it. My God, I remember hearing that. I'm like, man, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like what? What do you mean you want to think of money like a lover? That's weird. You're weird, man. But yeah, maybe that's what it is. You just get so greedy to the point where you just don't care anymore. And yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think is that about it?
I think that's about it, dude. This is going to be a hell of a fake guru. Go ahead. You have something else to say?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to
Yeah,
show you
dude.
this?
Let's make that the final thing. Let's see it.
Yeah, let me real fast. So here it is. You can see there's a lot of dust on it, right? Okay, so basically at the end, Dan pretty much says, okay, I'm going to make you guys do a test one. Don't make you, but if you do, I really want you guys to do it. Make Seifu proud and give me a good testimonial. And and he's like, I'll give you guys a really nice T-shirt, like a really, really high quality T-shirt if you do. Like he's like, and they, because he's talking with all of his friends, right? That's how it does it, right? And I got the T-shirt. Now, when a multi-millionaire says, "I'm going to give you guys an extremely high quality T-shirt," what do you think of? Would you say? I was thinking like, okay, maybe like Ralph Lauren or Gucci or something
For
like
sure.
that.
I mean, it's the high ticket closer. You want to?
Right.
I mean, this is the closers in black, baby.
Right.
I'm
I was
shocked.
thinking like, yeah, you know what? You know what we get? Gildan.
Of course.
Class.
Of course.
Gildan. The stuff that high schools and colleges give out as promotional shit. You know what? That should tell you the quality of his program right there. Fucking Gildan with an HTC sticker on it. That actually is the HTC program. It's a Gildan shirt. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah, here it is. The fucking T-shirt. You can see it right there. You can see Gildan. This is the shirt the dude gives out. You can see HTC right there.
Oh no.
The high quality HTC shirt he gives out. This is his fucking brand.
That's what you paid $2,500 for.
And like that's about it. I mean, that's all I can remember off the top of my head.
I do appreciate you coming on, seriously. I mean, it means a lot, and I think a lot of people are going to find a lot of value in this, man. If we can just have one person kind of get a better perspective on HTC, if it's right for them, I think they can use this interview.
It's not right for you. It's not.
Okay.
No, trust me. Literally, it's not. You're not even getting any of that. Read a Tony Robbins book. You can literally buy any college textbook. It teaches you the same stuff. It's like $200 on Amazon or whatever. Way cheaper.